Why, hello there, mentally unstable human being here. It's been a while since we've done a review type video, and well, seeing how well that went, I'm going to be doing another one. Sort of. In this video, we're going to be talking about
dinosaurs. You know, big lizards.
Are they real?
But Jackson, why would you waste your life talking about dinosaurs? Well, mainly due to two things. I draw them every single day, hiding my pain and suffering from schoolwork, and I have a mental issue known as dinosaur syndrome, in which when I was a young little boy, and I laid my first eyes on one, I could not stop. So please, sit back, relax, and watch as a meth head talks about his kinks.
What the fuck, is that a fucking cat?
Why, hello, you industrious little fellows. To give context, I originally wanted to make a Jurassic World Dominion review.
The all-anal final chapter.
And in a short summary, when I first saw the film in theaters, I loved it. I thought it was a super fun film, and I even came dripped out with the boys. And then after watching it, my friends and I were like, hey, let's do a review like last time. We recorded it, we had some fun, shenanigans and all that, and then I started editing the video. I lost interest.
Nigga, what the fuck?
Not only that, but once the hype started going down, I started realizing, man, this film made really fucking dumb decisions. You see, despite popular opinion, I quite like these films. I think they're quite enjoyable and just fun and entertaining pieces of media. They're not great at all. At all, but they're just fun, which, in my opinion, that's what's important. By no means they're as bad or should be compared to the Star Wars films. I think that's just retarded. And also, they're one of the only two franchises that are worth watching. Note, this is my opinion. So then in my head, I was like, well, I don't really feel like making a somewhat negative video. I don't like making videos. I like talking about things that I enjoyed. And whilst I did enjoy a lot of things in the film, a lot of other things were also shit. I like to spread positivity, man. Come on. I like to talk about things that I like. Okay, anyway, we're going to be going from the bad, the very bad, and then we will be going to the good thing that makes my little pee-pee happy. So, instead of talking about a mediocre film, I thought, let's talk about dinosaurs. Which, for those of you who have been living under a rock, what are dinosaurs? Dinosaurs are a part of a clade being a natural group, if you will, called Dinosauria. Basically, they were a diverse group of reptiles, very thick reptiles, that lived during the Triassic period, though it's not entirely been proven when exactly they started appearing towards the Triassic period. A lot of people say that it was towards the end, but, you know, time will tell, I guess. They lived during the Triassic period. They thrived during the Jurassic period. They had their good moments during the Cretaceous period. And then they just, you know, ceased to exist in the end of the Cretaceous period 66 million years ago. Now, despite what I said, they're more closely related to birds. So yes, the whole 1 meter turkey or whatever the fuck that kid said is correct. A lot of these animals would have feathers or some sort of plumage in them for multitude of different reasons, either keeping warm or sexual display. Which brings me to the next point. There's a lot of dinosaurs. To say that there's a lot of dinosaurs would be an understatement. People today just get amazed by the huge diversity of animals and vertebrates that we have living today. But if they would actually stop and actually look at the proper diversity that just dinosaurs had, people would die. One dinosaur, just one, could be part of a massive family tree of just cousins. Let's take, for example, the T-Rex, the sigma male of dinosaurs. This guy would be part of the Tyrannosauridae family, which would then be part of the Tyrannosauridae. It's Tyrannosauridae. Within that, the Tyrannosauroidae family, Tyrannosaur. But it's not just with the T-Rex, it's everyone. The Carnosaurs, the Ceratopsians, the fucking Hadrosaurs, the Sauropods, the Dromaeosaurs. Thing is that to this day, we already have a humongous number of dinosaurs that have been discovered, but we're still discovering more. And there have been multiple cases of people discovering bones of a certain dinosaur, thinking that it's that certain dinosaur that has already been discovered, only to then figure out that it's not that same dinosaur, but something else. Take, for example, the famous Giganotosaurus. For the longest time, people thought that it lived with the Argentinosaurus. But it was later discovered that it wasn't. But instead, a cousin, a relative, called Mapusaurus. And the same goes with the Gorgosaurus, the best character in the fucking movie. In which, again, people thought that, oh, it's a Gorgosaurus, you know, mainly because of how similar it was, only to then be discovered that no, it's not a Gorgosaurus, it's a Nanuqsaurus. The thing is that dinosaurs truly were the most successful animal, you know, in their prime, when God didn't smite them down. Which, by the way, this extinction event of all the dinosaurs is what we would call the Fuck. The KP. The KPG. KPG. The KPG extinction event, in which a massive asteroid just came crashing down on Earth and blowing it to Kingdom Come. Which, I have to note, for the longest time, people thought that the extinction happened 65 million years ago, only to have recently been discovered that it was 66 million years ago. So yeah, change the name. There's a common misconception that the asteroid just completely Hiroshima'd the dinosaurs. In actuality, that's not the case. Sure, it was the bringer of the extinction, but it wasn't what killed all of them. You see, after the explosion, a lot of dinosaurs clearly survived. What actually killed them was the aftermath. See, due to the explosion, basically the sky was just covered by ash clouds that blocked the sun. You know that whole 300 thing? Arrows block the sun? Yeah, well, this was clouds. And because the earth just would not get any sunlight, plants would not grow. So plants would die out, and since herbivores have nothing to eat, well, they die. And at the beginning, this was great for carnivores because they just had these bodies of dead herbivores to eat. But of course, if all the herbivores died, well, there's not going to be enough herbivores to feed them all. So it just led to carnivores just killing and mauling each other. So then, of course, after the whole Le Epic Battle Royale, Jesus Christ, you're milking that, and all the dinosaurs died out, well, the only survivors left were the little guys. Small reptiles, birds, and, well, mammals. And look at where that left us.
I mean, I'm a real freak. I'm not normal, ma'am.
If it wasn't easy enough to comprehend, I like dinosaurs. Well, what is it with dinosaurs that I like so much? Well, it's quite simple, actually. They're fucking cool. But in a more serious topic, there is a very special reason. When I think of dinosaurs, when I look at dinosaurs, I think of the classic movie monster. Not just movie monsters, just monster in general. The common monster told to us by books, folklore, tales, just stories of these beings just completely out of our region of comprehension. Jormungandr, the world serpent that fought against Thor in Ragnarok. Moby Dick, the whale. Godzilla, an allegory of nuclear power. King Kong, literally every single dragon in the medieval story of how, they kidnapped the princess and they just set everything on fire. That's what I think when I hear and see dinosaurs. I think of these monsters. But unlike these monsters, dinosaurs were real. Unlike your typical movie monsters, well, they weren't just monsters. They were animals, just like the ones living today. And just like the animals living today, well, they only did 3 things. Eat, sleep, and sleep. Hollywood, the place of hopes and dreams. Humanity has always had this interest in stories, telling them / narrating them, outright acting. This phenomenon would be known as theater, which would be used throughout most of humanity's history until around the 1800s, where humanity was able to basically record. This phenomenon, if you will, which at the time was pure fucking witchcraft, was just unheard of. The idea to be able to record something that you just did and rewatch it was unfathomable. So this became a new technique in being able to tell and create new stories. And of course, dinosaurs, a species of animal that started to be discovered around the mid to late 1800s, well, hey, why don't we make a movie about them? And on came the time of dinosaur films. Now, it's not entirely sure when the first dinosaur film came out. There's a whole video that goes deep into that, which I highly recommend. To me, the first dinosaur film was 1914's Gertie the Dinosaur. It was a simple film in which a man wants to show his friends that he can make his drawings come to life. And in doing so, it becomes this 1914 version of Dora the Explorer. The character would say something and then the dinosaur would do that said thing, like a dog. The technique was flipbook. From then on out, dinosaur films, well, they kind of speak for themselves. Back in the day, in the early 1900s, we didn't have what's called CGI. So people had to improvise and basically use a bunch of practical effects. The most common one being stop motion claymation. Not claymation, just stop motion, in which they would create a model that they would be able to move around in stop motion, which is animation, but in the form of taking pictures. Dinosaurs in these films are quite laughable, but not in a bad way. It's just funny to see how humanity has evolved and just seeing how dinosaurs were depicted back in the day. See, nowadays, dinosaurs are depicted as animals very much resembling birds. Back in the day, they were giant reptilian killers. Cold-blooded, stood up straight, and basically just ate anything that moved. And they were really fucking dumb. It is truly fascinating just seeing the evolution of their design. You know the iguanodon, the famous hadrosaur with the thumb claw? Yeah, this was his first design. Yeah, the thumb claw, they thought it was a nose horn. Not only the dinosaur depiction has evolved, but also the environment that they lived in. You see, dinosaurs were depicted mostly living in these very marshy, wet swamps, or in these super volcanic zones that just would be completely inhabitable for us to live in. These films are what we people like to call retro films, or retrosaur films, retro whatever. My personal favorite being The Valley of Guanji. I mean, it's quite simple. It's cowboys versus dinosaurs. What is there not to love? And let's just say that that whole concept of cowboys and dinosaurs brings a lot of inspiration. Moving on, we have animated films. Stuff like the scenes from Fantasia, which on their own right are just really great. But we also have The Land Before Time. You can't be a dinosaur fan without like not watching this film. This film, oh boy, this is a goddamn Disney film without even being made by Disney. It's a Bambi, but with dinosaurs. A nice family-friendly adventure. Well, family-friendly.
I guess so.
Dinosaur films would continue on going in this stop-motion style, or either animated style, or even animatronic. Which, speaking of animatronic, something very special happened in 1993. In that year, a man known as Steven Spielberg released Jurassic Park. Well, he didn't create it, it was Michael Crichton, but he directed the first Jurassic Park film. And holy shit, this is the magnum opus of dinosaur films. This is the dinosaur film. This is the film that you need to watch. Even if you're not a dinosaur fan, you need to watch it. This film revolutionized so many things, not just with dinosaurs, but just filmmaking. It's used as a stepping stone to films today, especially in the effects department. Like, this is 1993. Look at that. Truly, just some shots in this film just still hold up to this day. And it also revolutionized dinosaurs in general. From their depiction, from having a much more bird-like anatomy, which was at the time something very new for people, because people still had the reptilian mentality, and they were smart. A bit too smart. And they weren't just killers. I mean, some of them were, but they were animals. They were animals just living and still killing. From then on out, everything after Jurassic Park just sort of stayed the same, even to this day. After Jurassic Park, we got a bunch of sequels where some were great, some were mixed, and then the Jurassic World franchise, which already has a civil war going on. Continuing on, we would have great films such as the 2005 King Kong film, the Peter Jackson remake. Dinosaurs here would be a bit different in that this is meant to be an island where dinosaurs survived and they evolved. Thus, this isn't a T-Rex, but a Vistatosaurus Rex, one of the best fucking made up dinosaurs ever. Well, sorry, I forgot. Motherfucking Disney's Dinosaurs. This was my land before time. This was my childhood. The fucking Carnotaurs, man. The edgiest of dinosaurs. There was Journey to the Center of the Earth, the literal film that I kept seeing posters everywhere with a T-Rex, thinking that it was going to be a dinosaur film, only to see that it was there for 10 fucking minutes. There was the Ice Age film, the last Ice Age film before they started going to absolute shit. We got another classic, Land of the Lost. If you say this film is shit, I will fight you. Walking with Dinosaurs, the film. Shut the fuck up. The good the good dinosaur. T-Rexes were the only good part of the film. That was it. There's like 20-something Land Before Time sequels. Fuck me. What else is there? Oh yeah, Hitler rode a T-Rex. And then we also got from the great man himself, Genndy Tartakovsky, with Primal. A family-friendly adventure of a caveman and a T-Rex. And I kind of went past it because I was talking about film, but in 1999, BBC would release Walking with Dinosaurs. Now, unlike films, this was a documentary. A fucking documentary. Nowadays, that's like, well, what's so special about that? But at the time, this was big. Because dinosaurs only got their shine in films and, being a film, well, they could have liberties with representing them however the filmmakers wanted to. This is a documentary. Documentaries are made to educate people. So they had to get everything right. So for a lot of people that are just used to seeing animal documentaries of, animals living today, then this thing comes out with animals from the past. Holy shit. Due to the success of Walking with Dinosaurs, they made a bunch of spin-off series. One about prehistoric mammals, humans, creatures before the time of dinosaurs, and sea beasts. But not only did they make spin-off documentary series, they made Chased by Dinosaurs. Holy fuck. This is personally my favorite of the Walking With series because they took the documentary aspect 10 times. There's two types of documentaries. One where there's a narrator and it's just showing animals living their life. And then there's one where someone goes to the wild and sees and investigates the animals live for himself. And they did that with dinosaurs, with motherfucking Nigel Marvin. That's not to say that all documentaries were good. There are some real stinkies. In fact, there was a real period in which there weren't many documentaries, and the documentaries that did appear were not great at all. Usually the documentaries that you would look would be the Walking With series, Planet Dinosaur. I'm sure there are other ones here and there, but those are usually the one. And as before said, there was a time period in which not a lot of dinosaur media was coming out. I mean, the only thing that was coming out were the World films, which, I enjoy them, but it's like, World can't be the only one making dinosaur films. Until now. Lately, it seems like there's a new resurgence of dinosaur media, which is awesome. Last year, great year for dinosaur fans. We got the finale for Jurassic World, known as Jurassic World Dominion.
Nigga, what the fuck is this bullshit?
We got the successor to Walking with Dinosaurs, Prehistoric Planet.
There are consequences to saying the N-word.
Why? How do you know? How do you know?
Voiced by motherfucking David Attenborough. And we also got season 2 of Primal. And this year, we're getting a film called 65, giving me humongous Turok vibes. A dinosaur film. Nothing to do with Jurassic, which is great. It's written by the same people who did The Quiet Place, so we're finally getting some spooks, some dinosaur spooks. There's been this whole controversy on Twitter, which is not surprising, on how dinosaurs look, their design. I mean, yeah, I can't defend them. They look kind of poop. Personally, I don't really care. It's a film, whether they want to make it realistic or not, I don't care. Here, I actually have a theory. I bet you that at the beginning of the film, dinosaurs in this film looked like dinosaurs. Not accurate, but they looked like dinosaurs. But then something extraterrestrial, some shit happened that just mutated them. Case in point, a quadruped T-Rex. Reason why I say this, I keep seeing this skull in the poster and in the trailer, and it does not match this thing. If I'm right, I don't know, gold star for me.
Nice
In all honesty, I just find the whole argument between which one's better is just really stupid. Just watch whatever you like, man. If you don't like feathers, just don't watch it. And if you don't like monsters, just don't watch it. People are entitled to do whatever they want. Oh my god, the dinosaur has powers. It's shit. When it's a documentary, you obviously need to make it accurate. That's your point. It's educational, so you need to present the facts. But when it's just a film, a science fiction or whatever, do whatever the fuck you want. That does not mean that I'm biased towards movie monsters. Case in point, do I think feathers are not scary?
No.
Do I think that a dinosaur can actually be the best dinosaur in the whole franchise purely because of how it acted and not by how it looked?
Yes.
In conclusion, I don't really argue which one's better. I just like both.
You're gay! He's gay!
So we're getting 65. Super excited for that film. Netflix has been making this series of documentaries, and one of them going to be this year, I believe. I don't know exactly when. They're going to be one of dinosaurs, which is nice. And we're going to get a new dinosaur documentary with Stephen Fry as the narrator. Or not even narrator, he's just going to be in it. It'll be interesting how they do it. Some people say it's going to be somewhat similar to Chased by Dinosaurs, which I don't see Stephen Fry running. My only, not even complaint, just concern, I guess, would be visually it looks it doesn't look great, to be honest. It doesn't, coming from Prehistoric Planet and Jurassic World, no. Hey, it's me from the future. I just saw bits of the Stephen Fry documentary, and by saw I mean just reacting to other people watch it. Yeah, it's not great. The only good thing about it is Stephen Fry, because, well, it's Stephen Fry, and yeah, that's about it. because everything else is just what the fuck. I'm not even talking about the animations. You can have a shitty animation but still place the facts. But 11-ton aloes?
You what?
Dinosaurs in Pangea?
What?
We got Forgotten Bloodlines, which is not a dinosaur thing. It's prehistoric mammals, but it's voiced by Nigel Marven, which a big plus. Amazing Dino World, which continues the trend of shitty documentary titles, but it looks really good. Love the creature designs. We're finally getting Flipper Spino. And last but not least, Prehistoric Planet is getting a fucking season 2.
Oh, let's go!